Brukout, we say.
For 2019, back on BBC Radio 1 Extra as well. Welcome back to the camp and all this kind of show is sounding fire.
Big up, man. Thank you, man. We're glad to be back, man.
And that's 17 years of history right there for BBC Radio 1 Extra. But obviously, you lot's history start way back. And one of the things about this Brukout and Chat series that we're doing is to connect the dots to show that what man was doing in the late 80s and 90s, even before us, is still relevant to what we're on in music right now. 100. But you lot's story definitely is so connected to Wagwan. So I want to take it back to the very beginning and your childhood as such and your growing up and what influenced you. What was your first memories of music, Bush?
My thing goes right back. I got a big family. There was always bare family functions. And it's like, any excuse, in fact, to have a party. There was always music playing, and it's just like, just house parties, basically. Me and my cousins would be running up and down, we're upstairs in the bedrooms fighting, and mum's downstairs cooking and stuff like that. Dominoes played, and that was the original kind of vibe. And just be that reggae music playing and stuff like that. And everyone just vibes and having a good time, smoking, drinking. Them times, as a kid, you're not really clocking what's going on. But yeah, man, that's my first kind of experiences in the music, and then getting a bit older. My mum was actually in the sound system.
Are you serious?
Yeah, my mum was actually in the sound system. I don't even know the name, you know. My mum was a little rude girl back in the days, you know. Her and my dad, funny enough, they both was in sound system business. And then from that, my older brother, he picked up the sound system thing. My mum had this big speaker from her sound system. She said when their sound system broke up, she took the speaker. And then my brother took it for his sound system, and then that was actually Heartless Crew's first speaker. Yeah, and we're still Fonti and my mum they don't do it anymore. Probably a couple of years ago they finished. They used to do a salsa class, and Fonti was still using that speaker in there.
Fonti used to clash your mum.
No, not clash. They used to do a class. They used to. You know, Fonti is the salsa teacher.
Yeah, salsa teacher.
So him and my
mum.
He
was using that speaker for the salsa classes.
Yeah, they were using that for salsa. That was up to a couple of years ago.
So your mum, like, is proper family. Fonti grew up with you, like,
yeah, man. All of us grew up together, man, in the house, playing music again. Like, Fonti had his own house from young as well. Mo, we didn't really go to his house, but my house was like always a go-to house. Everyone always linked up at my house, anyways. Like, and you could come in and
So when you was rolling around with your cousins in the house parties back in the day, and the reason why I asked this is because when I spoke to Shy FX the other day, Shy FX said the same thing, that traditionally we get sent upstairs at certain hours, or sent to the back room back in the day, and you just hear the rumbling of the bass lines. And he said, Shawnee, I didn't even realize, but these bass lines were the same bass lines that I started to use when I was making jungle music. Is that the way that the music kind of resonated to you back in the day for these parties?
Yeah, definitely, man. It's just the vibe. Again, subconscious, you don't even know what's going on. We're upstairs we and my cousins, that's where you used to just be wrestling, pillow fighting, play fighting. But the vibe, the music's just in you, it's hearing it, and subconsciously it's just getting in your brain. Like, I'm not a producer, but I can identify with exactly what Shy FX is saying, you understand? You're just getting the rumble, you're not really hearing the melodies or the words, it's just that bass line. And him saying that, I can listen to his music and think, yeah, for real, man, that makes sense for you, because the bass lines he was coming up with, mad.
without even asking your age and asking you to reveal your age, I take it you're a 70s baby like me, yeah?
Yep, late 70s.
Are you late 70s for real? I'm 74.
I'm 79.
You're 79?
Yeah.
I thought you was older than that, you know, bro.
No.
He's up
Don't
here
put any old age on me, bro.
No, you know what it is? I think it's just because of the knowledge that you guys have and the way that you guys presented the music. You came across like proper old school veterans that have been playing sound system for so long.
Yeah, no.
So when did the sound system thing start for Heartless? What was the birth? What was the seed?
Again, so it was at secondary school. Me and Fonti both went to the same secondary school, so we linked in like first year secondary school. Again, my older brother, he's 4 years older than me, so he's at 75. He had a sound system, Gorgon International, and he had, he was a money man, my older brother, so he had the techniques, decks, all the records, trainers, everything. I was always in his room, practicing on his decks and stuff like that, taping his trainers and things like that. So when I've gone to secondary school, Fonty's Fonty's the man in secondary school from the first year. You understand? Fonty is that guy. Like, he was playing steel pan, he was doing beatboxing, he could like chat. He was an MC originally. Like, you understand? He's just musical. You understand? So I've gone to him, you understand, in probably latter stage of the first year, and said to me, "Yeah, come, let's start a sound system." And literally that was the birth of it. You understand? I was a kind of vibes man in the school, and Fonty was like the musical man. And there was another brother, he was an original Heartless Crew member, Ogwan. He was like a brain box. And I've gone to those two, man.
So businessman, man with skills, and you're the hype man.
Exactly.
It's a
that.
perfect team.
Exactly that. And I give them both the tap, and yeah, they were on it. And yeah, that was it, man. We had a couple names first, but our first Heartless Crew flyer, which we've still got now, is 1992, and it's got Heartless Crew on it.
Why a sound system when you was at school? Why did you choose a sound system to say that you could be many things, I suppose, baller, whatever, but a sound system?
I mean, that in a way, that was the era. That time there in like North and East London, it was like all about youth sounds. So there was Black Mafia, Glamour Guard, which is Glamour Kid's sound. Glamour Kid was in Glamour Guard, you understand?
Glamour Guard.
Yeah, that was his sound, you understand? They're from East, you understand? Like Hackney, you had Poison from like Tottenham, Crystallised were from our end, but they were the older man them for the whole thing.
You know, I played in a dance, I think it was like 93, with all of them sounds there, crystallizing, chimes.
Yeah, that's right, yeah, that was...
pub.
Yeah,
yeah. The fireworks in the dance. I'm a West London sound of like, whoa, should I be
chimes
here?
In this, yeah.
So you was part of that whole, so you was under those
We
sounds
were just a bit younger than those guys. So those guys are probably up to a year to 4 years older than us, basically. When they were in the peak, we was raving to them and was like, yeah, this is the thing, we want to be part of this.
And they were labelled Youth Man Sounds as well.
Yeah, that's what it was called then, Youth Man Sounds.
And the reason why they were called Youth Man Sounds, that was part of that, because I know you had the Asher Worlds.
The big, yeah, exactly.
You had the Nasty Loves.
Yes,
you had the Jimmy
Magic,
at the time. And that was the era of the juggling sound system. Yeah. It wasn't so much about MCs chatting behind mic and spitting lyrics. It was more about dub plates and juggling.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So we're coming on the back end of all of that, basically. Some Jimmy Magic, that was my mum's sound. She was into all them kind of things there. You understand? Like, probably might be a bit younger than her, then navigating all them people there. That's who my brother was into. Ragga Twins, they were on sound system. I forgot Unity
sound.
Yeah, so that's what these people. My brother's a bit older, so I'm just getting that little knowledge. You understand? And Victor V, he was like probably a year older than my brother for Crystallised, and then the youth sounds after that, Lady Force, the Black Mafias, the Glamour God, and then we was underneath that basically. So what happened? The funny thing that happened for us, which worked out perfect, because as Jungle came in, so like 92, we're doing our little thing in our area. 3, 4, Jungle's coming now. So all them youth sounds have started to rave to Jungle. Where they're a bit older than us, they've all started to drop off and go to Jungle, but we're just getting our momentum now. So it kind of cleared the pathway. God has been good to us. We had a clear run after that. All them youth sounds dropped off, and now we're creeping in. Everyone's raving Jungle. We've got a whole lane to ourselves, basically. And then, yeah, what we started to do, instead of going and raving in Jungle with everyone else, we was raving there, but we started to play Jungle on the sound system, you understand, and then incorporate that. And yeah,
why did you step away from dancehall? Can I ask that? Because it sounds like you're cut from the stem of maybe the original Saxons and Coxsons and all of this, and probably listen to Stone Love. Because when I listen to Heartless Crew, I hear Stone Love.
Yeah, that's who we fashion ourselves on, yeah.
I hear little Kilimanjaro,
yeah,
I hear
Black Cat.
King Addies,
yeah, all
I hear
of that.
Bass, I hear Tony Matter, I hear all of that. So why did you not move from, I suppose, that to this new sound?
Again, it was natural. Nothing was on purpose. Nothing we've done really has been on purpose. Again, I'm giving testimony to God, because it's not luck, but what happened? Jungle came in, it swept out a lot of the bashment thing. Everyone who was into bashment kind of went onto Jungle anyway, and we still stayed true to that dancehall kind of thing, but incorporated Jungle. And then after that, Garage came in, and then it was like we was doing all of those things at the same time. But what happened when we went onto Mission FM? This is like 97, 98. Garage was peaking then, so we was doing 2 shows. In fact, we was doing 1 show at the beginning. We was doing a show with...
Hold on. This man has just jumped like 6 years within 1 minute. You can't do that to me.
Okay, yeah.
Let's slow the conversation. We got time here.
All right,
Let's
yeah,
slow it
yes.
down a little, please. I want to still talking about the early days of Heartless Crew, like the baby days of Heartless Crew. Of like what was your first dance like as Heartless Crew? What was your first dance as Heartless Crew?
Don't
Now
quote
we're
me.
delving. Now we're delving into the
Yeah,
memory.
this is. We done a dance for Nikki. That was one of our friends, basically. Nikki Dicky. We done a. She was moving a house, and we done a house party for her. Basically, that was one of our first things. I remember we've got the flyer still. I can't remember what year that is, and it's like £1 entry. We done that, and again, Fonti. I give the credit to Fonti because Fonti, he's the real sound man. His Uncle Des, that was Fonti's uncle. We called him Uncle Des. He had some like equipments as well, and he could wire up sounds. You know, and he taught Fonty all of that kind of stuff. So Uncle Des was like Fonty was our man, and then Uncle Des would come and help set up. So
Overseer.
Yeah, he's the overseer. And so our first party, Fonty, Uncle Des, we all pitched in, but Fonty was the main man. He's like a technician, wired it up and stuff like that. I remember the sound chipping out and all them kind of things. They had people cussing. It was a Lucas bottle days as well, so man get bottled and all them. Yeah, that was the kind of elements then. That was the first little house parties there, man.
Do you remember the songs that you was playing during that time? What were the records that was kind of resonating?
That Action Rhythm was running them times there, because that's why we call her Nicky Dicky. But you remember that Bougie Banton tune, Nicky Dicky, Nicky Dicky.
Oh, Dicky, yeah. Oh, buddy Dicky, the girls Right, so that was all of that. That's that like 93, 92, 93 around there.
Yeah, them tune there running Second Class, all them kind of things. Tiger, When, You're Dead Now, Disappear, all them kind of things we was playing. Dirts, Man, Papa San, all those kind of things. So you
was a dancehall sound at the
man,
beginning
100,
then?
all the way. Even, we're still a dancehall sound now, it's just we don't really get the opportunity to play that music. But that is definitely our essence, that's where we came from, and that's, you know what I'm saying, that's really what made us and shaped us.
And how old was you guys around that time?
So, maybe 13, around that
13,
kind of, yeah,
14, around them age there.
Yeah, 13, 14. I mean, yeah, I think second year of school was like about 14, basically, yeah.
Did people notice that there was a difference in the way, as a youth man sound, that you lot had this spark, this new energy, this new drive?
When we got to Chimes, I remember Anthony Brightly, like, really, like, praising us. We came really early, man was swagged out, man had the velvet suit and thing, man come looking trash and ready. He was like, yeah. And we played, it was empty. The first night we played in this club was empty, but we played like it was Wembley Arena, screaming, shouting, making up bare noise. And after he said, you got something, man, you're gonna go. And I remember him saying it clearly to us, that you are gonna go, man, you're gonna go. And he give us a little pep talk. At the time we thought, he's just chatting shit because it's empty and whatever else. But true to word, he kind of took us under his wing, and again, there's been a few people along our journey who really helped to shape us and nurture us, and he was one of them. Now,
Anthony Brightly is from Sir George Sound, originally.
Yeah.
Also, like the booking agent for Stone Love Sound.
That's right.
It was just the other day I had a conversation with Conga Natty, who also told me that he went to Anthony Brightly's office, and Anthony Brightly linked him up with all these kind of things. So, how important is Anthony Brightly in that part of London?
Very. He was instrumental in like making rare groove and them kind of things there as well. Like, yeah, he's got a wealth of knowledge. He had the club from early, like as a black
Chimes.
man. Yeah, Chimes.
That was like a pub stroke club.
Yeah.
And they used to call it Gunman Alley as well.
Yeah.
This is the real conversation.
No, it's the truth.
Tell me, that place used to get shoot up all the time.
That's the first person we seen someone get shot in the head there and dead on the floor. You understand? And we was probably about maybe 15, 16, if that. You understand?
So what made you keep going back there? Because that's the kind of question that I ask myself now. My mum used to ask me.
Yeah.
We used to go to events knowing that shit was going to kick off.
Down,
And in Chimes, it was known that things was going to kick off. But there was an energy that was inside that place. And I suppose you conquered that energy inside that club.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? We've seen so many things through the music. You understand? Good and bad things, you understand? And that's what won the world, because we were so young then. But for the love of music, you understand? If you really love music, you're going to go on and on and on and on. You understand? That's why I said at the beginning, there's so much more to do. You understand? All right, we've done a lot, but you know what? There's a lot more to do, man.
So you've championed East London, what's it? Is it Lower Clapton Road?
Lower Clapton,
Lower Clapton Road, East London, and them times there, those events were like a gladiator's ring. If you
Very much
Bel
so.
Air,
Very much.
where else? Where did Rampage
sure.
used to play? Roseberries.
Well,
and all them.
yeah.
Those were gladiator. Every selector, every DJ in there was bad. Did you have any early battles from them days there?
Yeah, we did. What's the guy's Love Connection?
Oh yes.
Yeah, I mean we could clash Love Connection in there one time. You know, and we had to touch them. And there was a couple yardy sounds that always like throwing two little words on us, you understand? And we used to always have to hold up our own. And it got to the stage, anybody would put us in one room and let us just control the whole room, and the yardies in the next room, basically.
That's a yardies, yeah.
And it started to get to the point where it's like, our room was the jam, our room was jammy, and the yardies never used to like it, you understand? So it was a little, not out and out right friction, but little things there. It's funny enough you mentioned Rampage, because one of our biggest kind of things back then, I think this was about 96, Anybody put on a college dance. And after years later, he said to us, I'd done this on purpose. He put us on the dance. I think he put us on either before or after Rampage, yeah? And after years later, he said he'd done it on purpose. And we come on and corralled the place. But remember, this is our place. We played it week in, week out.
But this is when Rampage is in the heights.
They're heights, and they're hot. They're the big boys for us.
Big,
they're the big mans, you understand? And he's done that, and we come in and shelled them. You understand? But not directly, but that was the thing.
But that's the competition
and
that we were part of.
healthy
None of
competition.
us ever wanted to walk out of one of those dances and say, boy, Victor got the better of me that night.
That's
or
right.
one of them mans there. Now, the next era steps in. The UK finds an identity.
Yes.
And a big identity. And even though UK dancer was popping with the likes of Sweetie Irie, General Levy, on all these names, Top Cat being big names at the time, it was very much a sound of the Caribbean and us copying and imitating. And even with the hip hop that we was doing, we had the issues of like the American accents and all the rest of it. But in steps, jungle music. What was you lot's involvement in jungle in the early days?
It's weird because my dad was like one of the top security in jungle. So me and Fonti was raving like Thursday to Sunday. Yes, and my dad would just giving us the green light, and we're going everywhere. Yes, and raving, loving it. Like my dad, he was like harsh, but he was still allowing us to do things. Like he'd make us come and stand up for an hour outside the jungle rave and give out flyers and then let us go in. But again, bearing in mind, we're like 15, 16, we're going to certain raves. My dad's letting us go in, so we're sneaking in champagne. There's one or two telepathies, and us man are in there like, wow, we're the youngest in there with champagne, wow, going mad because on top of the fact we're in there so young, no one else ain't got champagne bottles in there. You understand? So we're in there, you understand? We've snuck
Flossing.
And we're going mad. You understand? Like, we was winning that whole jungle era. Again, where people know us as, like, they will know me and Fonti as ravers. As much as they know us as sounding, people know us. We've done all the eras. We raved there. People can never say anything like, you've seen us in these raves. You've seen us scrubbing with girls. You've seen us, you understand, there from the beginning to the end. You understand? And jungle was the same. We was instrument. Anyone who knows jungle raving and was junk, they would definitely know me and Fonti and a couple of the other man them.
And a lot of the big dances are over your ends, I suppose, like Edmonton and
Road Express,
Valley, Road
but we was
Express.
going everywhere. And plus, remember my older brother as well. So certain time we're going with him. You understand? But we had our own little clique as well. You understand? What's man driving? Man might even been driving then. Because man was driving. Man was doing, my older brother, I was always doing everything well early. Man was riding mopeds into school. You understand? I think the year I left.
Is your older brother the guy that does the flyers?
No.
Or run the flyer
Yeah,
pack?
that's my dad.
That's your old man. The man that is it Flying Squad? Or
Flying Squad, yeah.
Flying Squad's your old man.
Yeah.
If you've ever had a pack on your car with the Flying Squad on it, it's his dad.
Right.
So that was your in, I suppose, into those kind of events and that.
Yeah, man, we're straight in there, you understand? So man was getting to, he was taking me to Cool FM and places like that, so I was getting to see Shabba, and then these times as a kid, I'm like, when I met Shabba, he was one of my favourites. Yeah, probably he's one of my favourite MCs. And I was like, oh my gosh. It's almost in a way how some people, when they meet me, go on. You understand? The Shabba just cool. I met my meeting Debt and all these mans going back to school. Oh, man.
You were still at school at this time?
Yeah, I think we school, 95, 96. We left school in 95. You understand? So 95 was wax telepathy. And religiously, man would be in school every week. You understand? All through week in school. Like me, I used to work at the ice cream van in school, so I'm making money. You understand? Doing this. I'm selling dinner tickets. But that was a move. You understand? All through the week, you make as much money as you can.
Go buy records and go raving.
And raving. Friday, wax telepathy. You couldn't miss that. Basically, that was the spot every Friday. You make your money, you garms up. And then raving.
Was the Heart of the Crew was obviously DJing and playing at the parties and everything at this time. Is stepping into this arena of jungle, is that where the spark for Heartless, like, we could be different, we can change up what we do, we can step away, I suppose, from that chime scene and look at bigger? Is that where that whole switch happened? When did the switch happen?
It's weird because it doesn't feel like we switched, but I can. Like, obviously that was just a complete bigger arena. I remember one event, I can't remember what event it was, and I remember Fonti looking up at decks like in a trance, you understand, for age, and I just remember watching him and thinking, wow, what's this guy on, basically? And he was looking up, I said, well, go on. And he said, boy, my man's up. It's a big name DJ, still up to now, you know.
You don't want to call the name?
I wouldn't say it for him now. And Fonti would say he could say it himself. But Fonti would look at, oh, my man, shit, no. Wait, man's gonna be up there, you know, man's gonna be up there soon, and probably in about 2, maybe a bit more, maybe 3 years from that point, we was literally up there basically and shelling down basically.
So you got the opportunities to play in some of these big events?
Not jungle. That's the only thing. We completely missed. Jungle was so airtight and we were still too young. Like literally was probably 15, 16, 17 in that little area there of jungle. So much we thought we would knew what we was doing, and when Fonti looking at that man there, remember Fonti is a bad jungle DJ because that's what the era we was trying to be jungle DJ at that time. We never made it. It was airtight. Jungle, no one in jungle was taking us seriously. Even though my dad was who he was as well, they still wasn't taking us seriously.
Did you not feel that you had the talent to get there and shit?
100. Well, Fonti was saying it right there and then. And he's looking at a man who's still up there right now, you understand? And Fonti saying, boy, look at this man doing this, he's taking so long. If I get up there, I'm going to kill it, this, that, and the other. You understand? So we was in our elements then, you understand? We was like raring to go. Again, that time that we was practicing day and night. Like I said, Fonti lived by himself. We had a place, it was Fonti's house, what we called the music house. You understand? So we would be in there day and night practicing. You understand? Nowadays we don't practice. I can't say we've practiced together for years, but we've done so much practicing back then. It's like we've almost got we get it right, we've got a subconscious telepathy together because we just done so many hours in that house. So that if Fonti can come in there and start playing now, and we've got a telepathy. When it's working on point, it's a madness.
That Bluetooth connection.
Yeah, exactly.
Now you say we. And because you want to hop, skip, and jump over this conversation so quick, when did Mighty Mo join the collective?
So Mo joined. He joined at the back of that jungle era. So Mo wasn't raving with us none of that time. We linked Mo. Was it 96? I think we linked Mo in 96.
So Mo didn't go to the same school as you?
Yeah.
So how did you meet Mighty Mo?
Yeah, so what happened, me and Fonti went to the same school, and then Fonti went to college with Mighty Mo. Fonti and Mighty Mo went to the same college, and the other guy, Ogwan, the original guy, so those three went to the same college. I went to the Rude Boy College up in, like with all the Tottenham boys. Then man went to that college in North London, City in Islington College, and so Mo was a bedroom DJ. He was like a hip hop. Mo was just strictly hip hop them times there. DJ, nothing to do with MC, nothing like that. And then what happened basically from the end of leaving school, so like 94, 95, Ogwan, who was at the brain box out of all of us, he was like, his parents were African. He was African basically. So coming to the end of school, his parents wanted him. We was getting a bit of popularity in music, but his parents were like, no. So he was getting a lot of pressure from home. So by the time they've gone to college, he's kind of fading out. they've met Mo. Mo's a brilliant DJ. Ogwan himself was a hip hop DJ as well. So it's like Ogwan starts to bring in Mo when he can't make it as a hip hop DJ. And Mo's getting more comfortable and stuff like that. And the more Mo's coming in, the more Ogwan's fading out. And then I remember Ogwan, it was a big hoo-ha. Ogwan wrote us a letter saying that he has to leave this sound, basically. And yeah, and then Mo slipped into the sound.
Do you still see Ogwan now?
Every now and again. He's a solicitor now, funny enough.
Is he a big solicitor for
yeah,
real?
yeah,
Has he ever helped any of you guys?
He helped my friend out the other day, funny enough. So, I mean, he's still, and he lives not far from my mum. I've seen him randomly on Mother's Day last year. And he lives near my mum's and stuff. We've still got, and I got him on WhatsApp and stuff like that. So we still talk. He's definitely part of the story.
Still part of the team.
Part of the team, yeah.
So I've been told that originally you was a DJ.
Yep.
And Fonti was
Fonti
the
was
MC.
MC, yeah.
How that come about? How was it like? How did it switch?
Yeah. Yeah, we was all DJs. Me and Fonti was DJs. We was all DJs, and we had two other MCs in our sound, Rudy and Major. So these are like the predecessors for me and Mo, really and truly. Rudy and Major, and then me, Fonti, and Ogwan were DJs. But then what happened, when the jungle started to come in, Fonti started to DJ jungle. But DJing jungle was trickier than DJing the bash with the ragga back then. So now Fonti's more homing in on the DJ side of things, you understand? Rudy and Major are still MCing, but they're kind of fading out. They were flaky anyway. They were there more for the girls and the hype. You understand? So as they're fading out, Fonti's coaxing me in. And Fonti was teaching me. Fonti, in a way, taught me how to MC as well. I mean, I've always vibes in anyway, but Fonti did school me, you understand? He's a teacher still. Wow. You understand? And Mo. Fonti taught both of us how to MC. You understand? And as again, it's just natural how Rudy and Major started to fall out of the sound. They weren't really turning up. They weren't into the equipment. They weren't putting no money. They were just turning up. They were MCs, you understand? Just turning up and MCing. But both of them started to fade out. You understand? And then me and Mo kind of faded in. And then, again, because it was jungle as well, it needed the MCs more. So now that's when that triangle really started to come about on the jungle, because Fonti's now the main DJ, and then me and Mo are MCing. And then, yeah.
So you've done all the groundwork. You've put in the hard work. You've solidified yourself in your ends.
Yes.
You've done the training amongst all of the younger sounds them.
Yep.
You've gone up against some of the big boys them.
Yep.
When does Heartless Crew, or when do you remember you saying to yourself, we've just done it, we just get the bus? When was that moment that you said, we're boss?
Yeah. So it's probably two definitive moments. Like 98 is that the year that we start to pop off, basically. So we done all that groundwork from 92, but 98 was like, we're on Mission FM now. And our area's locked, but the tapes for Mission are now going all over. So our name's calling now. We're even going certain raves and hearing cars playing our tapes. You understand? Back in them days, and then man's like, oh gosh, wow.
And tapes from radio station sets was a big thing back in the day.
Yeah, that was big.
Like, if you had a 94, 95 Brocky Cool FM tape, you was the guy.
You're the man.
If you have one of them right now, you probably sell it on the eBay.
The man.
So the Heartless Crew tapes become legendary. Just like a Stone Love tape back in the day, or an Asher Word tape.
That's right. They're flying around, and like our name's starting to call. You understand? So we're winning. Our name's calling up to Birmingham. I remember we got our first gig in Birmingham, and we're going up there. They knew all the lyrics. You understand? We're like, wow, we're decorated now. We've done this thing. We're 30. You understand? So that was 98, and then in 2002, that's when I really thought that, fuck, we've done this. Basically, I remember driving. I'm from that Holloway Archway, and we drove down. I was with my baby mother, and there was a big, massive billboard of us three. And I was like, oh my, we was going mad. Me and my baby mother were going mad in the car, like crazy, like almost wanted to cry, like happy. Like a massive, big, you see the big billboards, them things, and we was like, oh my gosh, we're beeping and we was going mad. And I thought, wow, we won, like, yeah.
But what you lot did was very unique in the way you did it. I remember listening to the early Heartless tapes and being like, who the hell are these guys? Because you guys were mixing like drum and bass jungle. You say you never get the bus, but I suppose still on the street level, you was the heaviest at it then, I suppose, doing it at that time. I would never forget, I don't know if it was Temple or somewhere like that. Then all of a sudden, Dennis Brown comes in
Yeah. Right.
to the Foundation or Revolution or one of them songs. I was like, nah, I'm the only guy that does stuff like this. Who are these guys? You lot sound was very eclectic, and I suppose right now they call us multi-genre DJs or whatever. You just played music though.
Yeah, that's it.
Do you think that was a secret to the success of Heartless Crew, that you was able to go from one genre to another genre effortlessly?
Yeah, that was definitely one of the main ingredients. What made people like us. Definitely when we was in garage, I remember we used to get all the yardies, because they knew us from Chimes. The yardies, we made loads of people get into garage. That's one thing, you understand? Because the way we played garage, we played it like a sound system. You understand? So them people, they were never isolated, and we made bare them East London yardies get into house and garage basically, because we was dropping in little tunes here and there, and yeah, just the general vibe and energy we was playing with. And again, when we come into garage, we was doing reloading tunes. Again, sound system business, what they do. If the tune's firing, you understand, we reload it. That wasn't happening in garage, you understand? They actually frowned upon it. When we started to reload tunes, and people was like, nah. And again, some of the big boys now, who, like, they would kind of sideline us and say, talking us down and stuff like that, yeah? They weren't really feeling what we was doing.
What was it like when you like entered into that scene then? Paint a picture of what it was like before the Heartless sound, I suppose.
In garage?
Yeah.
It was... I'm just going to pick my words carefully, because we came from the jungle scene, which was like, again, rough, cutthroat, rough around the edges, rude boy business. You understand? Man out in the line, you're getting your ticket peeled and all them things, the man in the corner bunning crack. You understand? We came from that jungle scene, you understand, where they're smelling bare plastic and it's dark. You understand?
You know what? You're not even lying.
That's,
You're painting a picture of Lee Valley right there, sir.
Right, well, that's, you understand, it's dark, but that darkness made the rave cold. Yeah, it's so weird to explain it, but the raves being so dark, it had an element where you just loved it. It's like, you don't know what's going to happen next. The music's banging, everyone is still happy and vibes, but you know, at any particular point, it can just go left.
Do you know where one place I always felt that? Laserdrum in Peckham.
Laserdrum Peckham, yeah, exactly.
Pitch black.
Yeah, exactly.
You're walking around underneath the dark hideaways and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
You can smell the drugs all over. But the most random things, I had the funnest time in there, because the guys used to come up to me, "You right? You right?"
You get all that. Yeah, that's right.
It was a happy place as well.
Right. It's weird, you understand, because you got that the love, and then it was, you understand, it can switch, and that's what used to make it fun for us. We used to love it.
And the chip shop outside with the mayonnaise was the one. I remember these things.
Man,
okay,
yeah.
am I lying though? The chip shop outside Laserdrum was the one.
Yeah, it's the truth. So yeah, we come from that, and again at that particular time, garage was going on. Garage was in the second room of like the big jungle raves. You'd only go in that room on a like one away chill off with the toilets in there. And again, that's why I'm picking my words carefully, because everyone was looking on the garage music at that time as it was like gay music.
Okay.
You understand? That was a general census. You understand? No one were in the garage scene. It was like everyone else who couldn't keep up in that scene was going over there. And then what happened as this scene got even more darker, the jungle got even more darker, all the girls started to leave the jungle and go over to the garage. And this is where, again, we was just on post, because Fonti's girlfriend at the time, Lisa, she was into the garage scene.
Fonti's a guy.
Fonti's a man, I'm telling you, Fonti's a man. Fonti's a man. Fonti's Mrs. Them times there, you understand? She was into the garage scene, you understand, from early. This is, again, probably, this is 96, you understand, them kind of times. She's telling us, boy, you don't need to come over there, you need to come over there. And a little bit Fonty started to go into the dipping, you understand, and he went in there and heard Creed. And I was like, boy, the thing's all right, man, them, you understand, started to buy 2 little records. So then when we've come into that scene, it's very airy. Very happy, you understand. It's all about the music. It's all about the music. MCs was really secondary. The MC would be right behind the deck. So in that scene, it was all about the DJ and the music, and the MC would just put a little bit of, everyone, that, just a bit of flavour on the top. You understand? So we've come into that scene where it's quite rigid or stiff. Not rigid, but it's organised. And we've come in there with a bashment sound mentality and just ripped up the rule books. They've mixed the tunes for like 3 minutes. We're coming in and mixing it for a minute and a half. Like, there's no MCing over their tunes. We're MCing right away from start to finish. You understand? There ain't no reel-ups in that tune. We're wheeling up tunes. We're jumping up. We're on the front of the stage, you understand? As opposed to being behind. We're actually on the front. We're jumping and wheeling up tunes. So when we've come in that scene, even now looking at it as an elder, I'm thinking, wow, them man, cause they were cussing us. Like, these guys just come and mash up our thing, basically. What we had was nice and sweet and tidy. These men have just come and just gone haywire with the thing and this.
Hooded it out.
Yeah, basically. You understand? That's how they would have looked at it. You understand? Fogged it out, chatting bare lyrics and just tearing at the rule books. But the only thing what our saving grace is, and this was what would make us different than Soul Solid or Pay As You Go or all the other multitudes of crews that came after us. Although we was doing it, ripping up the rule books, because Fonti is so musical, you still couldn't argue because everything was still tailored. You understand? It still was to the point. He's still mixing right, and everything. Fonti is so musical. It's still going to be right anyway.
So are you telling me that Heartless Crew were responsible for MCs coming in hard on garage and speeding it up and getting it to that stage of speed garage?
Yeah, 110%. 110%. No one wasn't doing anything like that before. There's a few things in garage that we done that made garage what it is, and then that's what actually made grime what it is.
What is that moment that you knew that the influence that you had on garage music? Who was that person that you saw who was like, okay, they're doing a Heartless here?
Pretty much from we came out and bust and had the name Crew, every Tom, Dick and Harry was called Crew after that. So we knew that, oh, we set it. But one definitive moment I'll never forget as well was like, we done Temple, we put on our own rave in Temple, but this time we're making money, we got our own office in Tottenham, you understand, we're doing our thing proper, you understand. Again, man, always had a bit of the business acumen as well, which was cut us a bit apart. And I remember Mega Man So Solid come up to man at the end of the rave, was like, he probably wouldn't even like the story now because of how egotistical he is, yeah. But he come up was like, boy, I love what you man are doing, you know. You man, you understand? And that was Mega Man back then, probably 2000, maybe, I can't, no, it wasn't even that late. It probably maybe 99.
Wow.
Mega Man come humble. Never seen Mega Man. I've never seen him like that again. And Mega Man was like, boy, I love what you man are doing, man. No,
Was that before the hat?
Before the hat. We didn't even know who he is. That's funny how it is. We didn't actually know who he was. They knew about us. We didn't know about them. And he come and like, wow, humble.
So did you feel like everybody was coming for you like spot? Is this where like some of the legendary clashes and how they came about?
I mean, not at that stage yet, because we had a good little run by ourselves. You understand? It took a little while for man to kind of start catching up, basically. So yeah, a little while after that, like I said, that might have been around 99. Now, everyone started to peak probably 2000, 2001,
okay.
2002. So we had a good little while where we was at the kingpins, basically.
When did you get the deal with... Who did you have to deal with? Was it Atlantic?
Warner East West.
Okay.
We had to deal with, and I think we got the deal in like 2001. And yeah, I think the album came out in 2002, something like that. Or sorry, the album didn't come out in 2002, but yeah.
Well, you got the label deal. You got the deal with the label.
Yeah.
You're the top boys on the road. Obviously, everyone's going to be coming at you. That's just the way it is. You got all these crews out there now. Let's speak about some of the clashes. What are some of the clashes that you really stand out in your mind? Obviously, everyone chats about the Pay As You Go,
yeah.
But what are the other battles? Before we get to that one, like what are the other battles that you remember? The little slide dubs that man used to fling on you for Songboy style,
yeah,
Kilimanjaro.
Elbow, couple of sounds, man. We had to touch a couple of sounds along the way still. You know, that one of the early little clashes man was having was with what started the whole little thing. Major Ace and Precious. I remember man clashed them in Iron Napa. Man clashed Champagne Bubbly on the mic and give him a little touch. What other ones? A couple other little sounds. What they called? G Crew. G Crew, who are now Gents or Gents.
Okay,
You understand?
Gents sound.
That's about Dags does a statement, and his older brother's J2.
Okay.
So they were like our arch rivals in the day, like, cause they're both from
Seriously?
North London. Yeah, so
Okay.
Gents, they were called G Crew back in the days. So they were like our arch rivals. So we was always kind of clashing with them. And I remember one time we clashed. Our little venue back then was Mousetrap, JC's Phoenix, you know, in Finchley Park.
Yeah.
And we clashed them in there. You know what I'm saying? And it turned into one big fight as well afterwards and things like that. Yeah.
Were these clashes really as serious as like they could come across, or was it a
That one
musical-
was because man got hurt. You understand? Again, you know how things are as well. You take things personally and stuff like that. So that one there ended in, you understand, a bit of bloodsheds.
And even Iron Upper used to get a little bit shaky at times as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
Like
man.
them out on the mopeds and all the rest of it. Did that kind of stuff spill over into Iron Upper? And I suppose there was like no rules applied when you're over there as well.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, again, I'm being out with my baby mother again, and man slapping at bum, and I'm saying, well, I apologize. But again, what it is, where man see man as an artist as well.
They want to push you.
Man want to push the buttons, you understand? So then man them to clap people up out there and whatever. But the good thing is, same like with the music, we had a saving grace because our thing was tidy, you understand? Same with out there. Man knew we wasn't really causing trouble. So man, the Greek man see man do one or two little things, more time they're gonna back us because they know these that never cause trouble. They all the time they don't cause us no trouble. So if anything happens, even before they find out anything, they're gonna take our side. You understand? So you understand? We've never been a wrong and strong kind of sound. You understand? But man wanna push buttons certain times. So obviously man's getting more popular and things like that. So man did have to do, you understand, one or two little bits as well. But it just keeps your name clean.
I hear you.
You understand on that note as well.
So the Pay As You Go clash, I suppose, is one of those clashes and battles that go down in the British history or in the British history diaries of beefs and battles.
Yeah.
Break down what happened with all of that.
Yeah, again, it's so trivial. Major Ace, rest in peace, man, because we sorted out our thing, you understand, long time ago. But back then, it was, again, it's a schoolboy business. Major Ace was copying so much of my lyrics, you understand, copying. And again, like, my attitude back then was completely different to what it is now. And he was copying my lyrics, and I'm saying, well, you can't do this, you know, brother. And obviously, they're from East, we're from North. I've seen him out at one time, Powerhouse, and I said to him, yo, bro, leave all that alone, because that's not what it's about. You understand? And again, I give all the credit to Fonti, because Fonti saying, be allow it, man. But my head's more sticky than man. I'm thinking, wow, this guy's taking a piss. You know, so that was, we had a little talking to, and I said to him, bro, leave all that alone. Obviously, he's continued going on and still chatting the lyrics. You know, and man hear him chatting lyrics. People come, oh, wow, my man's chatting your lyrics, rare. So then we bucked him again at Rumble. That's Nicky Slimting's dance. Nicky Slimting does the film thing now, Intent and all that lot. So Nicky Slimting was doing dances back then, Rumble. So we bucked. Would they even pay as you go then? I'm not sure if they was even. I don't think they would pay as you go then. It was like Major Race. What they called split? They might have another name. I don't think it was even pay as you go yet. But we've bucked him there. We've had a little clash. Then this is early days. People and Rumble was an under 18s dance as well, by the way.
Okay.
You understand? So we've had a little clash there. Man buried him there. But again, it's not, these things are, unless you were there at the time, you wouldn't really know. You'd have to be of that age group and in East London. So that's one little altercation we've had. Then another time we've linked them. This time there was pay as you go. This is in Temple. You understand? Again, it's North London, it's the art ends, and this was like pay as you go at first was only Major Ace, Plague Delero, and a DJ. I'm not too sure if it was Genius or which one. And we've linked them that time there. And this time we've had a nice clash. You know, they played a little music, but we've come on after and buried them. This is North London, our ends, Tottenham, yes, and you can't chat to us. And yes, and we run them off, yes, and they feel light. So then there was a little bit of rivalry, yes, and another time after that is when I linked him and Precious, Double O, who does Sun City. He had his birthday on, and he's called me. Again, this is a house party in East London, and there's a little bit of sticky vibe.
House party.
Yeah, and he's calling me, B, come to my thing, I'm saying to him, cuz, I just shouldn't really be coming over there. You know the thing already, rare. He said, no, B, you're good, you're good, I've got you, rare. I said, all right. He said, I'm going to pick you up and take you. And he picked me up, I took a stick over there, and he said, I'm going to take you and bring you back. And it was a setup. You understand? When I've come in there now, it's a setup. The man there, Major Ace, and now he's got Precious. And you understand, they bring me on the mic and they're just trying to corral me with bare lyrics and, you understand? And I'm firing back, but it's only me one. Remember, I've come there by myself as well. It's only me one, you understand?
So you stood up and battled it.
Battled them, you understand, both, you understand, and never lost, you understand? They could obviously, everyone's making more noise for them, but I'm still getting my due, you understand? It's not, it's really true, I probably would have won, but it's just that I'm in East and they can't give me that credit, you understand? And I've got my little thing, it's getting special. I said to Double O, you know what, cuz, I'm out. And I said, come, take me back, you understand? Because more than if I stayed there, it would have come on top, you understand? I said, you know what, I'm out of it, you understand? So man, I had that on my head. So all these little things are bubbling up, you understand? And then this is leading up to the big clash. After what happened, there was another clash, official clash was supposed to happen. Again, people don't know this unless you're at that time. So this clash was going to be Soul Solid, Genius Crew, Pay As You Go, Heartless, all the main crews at that time. There was a big clash. Everyone on Flyer. Royal Rumble. Literally that. Mad thing. It was out of London. We might have been in Birmingham or somewhere like that. And when we've all gone up there, we've loaded up that place now, because this is on. All the rest have been spontaneous. This is like a clash. It's organised. We rolled up there, dub plates, full entourage team. Before we even got to dance, like there's so much hype on the dance, it was just kicking off everywhere. So that dance never went on. It was just a madness. You went up there and it's just a riot, literally. So that never ever happened. And then, so that is what led to the Destiny's dance. So that may have been about 2 weeks prior to Destiny's Watford, which was the main clash. Yes, so now we still got our dub plates. We know they're on the bill, yes, and we're going down there. We're mindful. We're not going out of the way for anything, but we're mindful. And what's happened on that night, again, people don't realize, like, I'm more excited, you understand? So I've got there. It's a madness outside to get in, you understand? But I've bored through and got in there, but I'm in there by myself again, you understand? These man, I'm like, wow, you man, what's going on? They're taking long to get him, because there was a lot of us, you understand? But I've just bored through and got him. I'm in there by myself, and Pay As You Go on, and again, they don't know I'm in the dance. They're like, if you listen back to the tape now, people, now I've said it, if you go and listen, you'll understand, they're saying bare little innuendos. Oh, well, them man, they're late, you know, if the man them don't come, we're doing a yam their food, we're taking their money, promoter, where they're saying bare little sticky things. Well, you know, we're the best crew out there, rare. It's indirects, but if you go back and listen to the tape now, you're going to hear it all. But they're forgetting I'm actually in the dance. So I'm hearing all this. I'm saying, oh, scene, okay. So what you man think is, okay. And I'm thinking, wow, Font Smoke, hurry up and come in there, because I'm itching right now, you understand? These men are taking a piss. And the more it's going on. I say, forget this. So that's why I've just run up on the stage, you understand? If you listen back to Clash, I'm on the stage now, I'm just like, you understand, doing my little thing like, okay, you man, this is what you think it is. And then Maxwell D gives me the mic. And I say it in the Clash, wow, you give me the mic, you know. You understand? And he gives me the mic. It goes off. And then again, God being, you understand, God, that's going off. Fonti and Mo come in, you understand? So they just arrive at that time.
Step up. Where
it's going off, you understand? Yeah.
You know what? Just listen to these stories. It sounds like you're the hothead of the tree.
Was.
How would I describe Fonti? How would you describe Fonti in the trio?
Fonti literally says he's the man behind the music, man. He's very thoughtful, you understand? It's really into the music. And Fonti he'll really question things and do the right thing is what I wanted to say, basically. He's very thoughtful. He's all about the music. He's not a violent kind of person, nothing like that. He will defend it and back it, but he's not going to go out of his way for any trouble, more sidestep it, you understand? He's just about the music, man. He's really in love with the music, and yeah, that's his passion.
And how would you describe Mo in the trio?
Okay, Mo's kind of like the icing in a way, you know. Like me and Fonti would the engine will start the vibe, you understand? I'll more start the vibe, and Fonti will pick my energy up on the vibe what I bring and make that music or make that work. And Mo will see that, and he's the icing on the top.
Now I saw that magic week in, week out on One Extra. Because you guys had a show after my show. It was me, you, Ras Kwame, and Luck. We was the original Super Sundays on One Extra in the early days. And just like, big up Boss Man Ray Poor out there.
100.
Working hard. You used to have to be in there 1 hour before. You used to roll up like 5 minutes before the show, walk in.
I don't mind us.
No, I'm not lying. A lot of headaches. Like, man, you used to have to hang around just to, you'll see one man turn up on time, and then a next man roll in 30 minutes later.
Yeah.
It was just not, it wasn't the BBC way.
Not at all.
But the way you lot gelled and came together was crazy. So when I heard Heartless ain't together no more, it was like hearing Mike Tyson had got knocked out. It was like one of those moments like, no, how can that be? How am I going to see Mo and not see you and not see Fonty? It was literally like family had broken up. What happened?
You know what? One extra, funny enough, as fun as it sounds, a part of the seed, you understand, to us breaking up, you understand, but it goes back probably from about 2000, or when we got the record deal, things started to get little cracks from then.
Was it a biggie? More money, more problems, success?
I think we was growing up, we was crossing over from boys to men. We did have a lot more money, but money was never the issue with us, funny enough. It was just different, we had different ideologies. You understand? I had one vision and I'd been kind of leading out with a certain vision. At the time, Fonty got a new girlfriend. So there's loads of dynamics. Fonty got a new girlfriend. She was very headstrong. Mo and her didn't get on, which caused a rift with Mo and Fonty, because obviously Fonty's got pillow talk at night time, but then he's with the man in the daytime. This changed the dynamics of the music house, because we've always been in the music house, thumping music all day, all night. Now his girl's living there. She's like, "Wow, you got to turn the music down," and man's like, "Wow, I'm alright, because I'm kind of neutral, innit?" And Mo and her kind of catching up. So that's one whole dynamic. Another dynamic was the fact that we had an office, and again, I'm kind of entrepreneurial. So like I said, yeah, let's get office where we had a few staff. So I'm in the office, I'm kind of thinking me and Mo are in the office more time. Mo's very clerical. I've got the ideas and the vibes. Mo's very meticulous and very clerical. So me and Mo are bouncing back to back all day. We're sorting out the business side of things, making the money. We've bought a studio now. The studio's in the music house. Fonty and his girl live in the music house. So it's like a major riff was me and Mo be in the office all day, and we come back to the music house at night time, but nothing ain't really going in the music house. You understand? Fonty ain't really making music now. Or the tunes. This time we're supposed to be making tunes. Man weren't really making the tunes. So we're coming back, and one of the biggest, me and Fonty, again, we're the two originals. Fonty said to me, "B, forget the business, let's make the music." And I'm saying to him, "B, we're making the money, yeah? Sort out the music, because you are the music. I can't produce, and I ain't getting time. We bought the studio, we got all the top equipment. Make the music, cuz." Like, "Well, go on." And he's like, "B, forget the business. Come on, it's me and you start this thing. Boom, boom, boom. You get me?" So, but I couldn't really see it then. I couldn't see what he was saying. He couldn't see what I was saying. I'm saying, "Well, come, cuz we was killing it money-wise." You understand? We was cleaning up. I'm saying, "Bruv, come on." Well, when we come back to the music house, Fonty's kind of on his energy's down, you understand? And then him and Mo got the friction as well, because the gal. So that's another issue. Where I'm saying to him, "Come, vibes up." Mo's like, "What, you ain't doing that and you're lazy." So that's an issue, you understand? So that's one whole issue. Then on top of that, we've joined with a record label. So they're giving us a lot of money, you understand? But they'd put a lot of pressure on us, because they said, "Right, we want an album now." We've never made an album before, you understand? And again, that weight would have laid mainly on Fonty's shoulders, because he could produce. He was a music man, you understand? So now Fonty's got that added pressure. Then they put us in with someone else to make the album. So all of that's conjuring up little vibes, you understand, little feeling. We're not getting on so well. I've got an entourage, I'm out there, I've got a convertible car, rare. You understand? So the mans are looking at me like, "Wow.
What are you doing? While we're working and you're
Yeah,
out on the road?"
but don't get me wrong, I'm work. I'm got the hype. I'm like, I've got the thing locked for us in the road. I'm not seeing what they're saying in a way.
You're promoting.
I'm promoting, and right now we're winning. You understand? So I'm coming back to the studio. Remember, I'm coming back there. I'm an MC vibes man. So I'm coming to the studio. So I'm coming there on my own time, innit? But man, they're getting disgruntled with that because they're thinking, wow, man's coming flashy, rare, come drop top and all these kind of things. And the funny thing is, little silly things looking back on it now, but it's like, we've all got 3 different personalities. I'm saying, I bought a car for 9 grand. Man saying, oh, why are you buying a car for 9 grand? I'm saying, if you want to buy a car for 9 grand, buy it because we've got the money. It's not an issue of the intent. You're just not liking the fact that what car I bought. Because man thought he bought a car which was 8 grand, but he just wouldn't sign same kind of car with me. I'm saying, so what, more, what's your issue? If you want to buy a car, the money's there. This one thing what kept Heartless Crew different from everyone else. We all kept our money in a pot. You said these man.
Seriously?
Yeah, you know what? Let's all keep our money together. We're always going to have more money than everyone else. And so up until a long time, we had money. Like silly little things. Looking back now, what we used to do, we always, me and Mo in the office and stuff like that. Yeah, and this is no word of lie. We used to walk around with 3 grand cash all the time. Everywhere we go, we've got 3 grand cash and a stupid amount of weed as a standard. Anywhere we go, that was our standard in the rucksack.
You don't smoke no more, do you?
I give up now. But them times we used to almost like half a key. We like again, man's mentality was just crazy now that I look at it. But my mentality was like, we have more than enough. So any 3 grand at that time there, anywhere you go, you're good. Anywhere you're good.
What brought you lot back together? That's what I'm more interested in. Because there were so many years had passed. And it did get a little bit horrible at times. I saw a few videos come out and all the rest of it. And I'm sure it's probably just people in each other's ears gassing and all the rest of it. It didn't seem like my brethren, them. Like there was something that was odd. What brought you lot back together?
This is my honest feeling, yeah? Again, being probably the person who started the thing and being the engine, like, I say, I'm more out there than Fonti and Mo. Them man they're music mans. They're not necessarily money mans. They're vibes mans to an extent, but not necessarily.
You're the road man.
Yeah. So, and this is my heart for them. They're man of my brothers regardless, yeah. I would not want to see them things not go on right, you understand? So no matter what happens, you understand, that's why I'm coming back to them man there, and the man there upset me a lot of stuff. There's loads of water.
You wanted to share the food back with the man them?
Of course, because I'm saying to me, I've always been able to make money regardless, you understand? I've always, you understand, from one day prior to music, I've been good like that. I said, when everything kind of dried up, where I'm still out there, I'm still doing bits and bobs and still making money, I said to myself, you know, I won't see my brothers, you understand? So I'm going back to him. And even when I've gone back to him, you understand, the man is still bad mind me. It weren't no easy fix going back to them as well. You understand? It weren't no like, yeah, cool. The man them still, and I'm saying to you, understand, come. I'm just trying to bring the man them in.
That's pretty much where our community is, though. You know that, innit, though? Like, we're brought up in a certain way that one man eat, every man eat. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Those are the principles that we have.
I love that.
One man eat,
I
every
love
man eat.
that.
That's the
I love it.
principles
That's one of the realest things we've said here, because you know what? Again, this was an issue with all 3 of us, where the man's never all grew the same. Me and Fonti grew very similar. Mo is from a different community and whatever. Me, I've gone out there and done moves and come back with the food, and man ain't gone on the move with me. Man's been sitting down, but this is how we grow. Man will lick a move and man come back with the food and it's like, boom, that's for you. And we're all eating. You've been sitting down watching TV and saying that's how we grew. Man never necessarily had that. Always had the same thing. So man ain't even seeing it when man I come back and say, well, you know, there's food to yam, you know, man, them come and go on. Drop the feelings, forget that all them thing there. You understand? Allow it, let's come and yam some food. But anyway, God is good.
I don't have to ask if the chemistry is the same, because I think we can all see that the chemistry is still the same with the Heartless Crew. You know what I'm saying? It looks the same to you.
Very much the same. Not exactly the same, no, but very, very much the same.
At least you're honest.
No, cool. I'm honest. Everything I said is 100, man. And it's again, we're
Is it just because you have grown up? Because I'm listening to your conversation, and it sounds like to me you just went from boys to men.
Yeah.
And there is a time where you got you got a woman in you're living with, and you can't think about your brethren the same way that you thought about your brethren. You got to put that woman first.
Yeah.
She wants to go cinema. She wants to go for a meal. So saying that we're going to the music house, that's not the one. You get what I'm saying? And at night time, it's her that you're whispering in her ear. So you got to give the ladies that time, you know what I'm saying? And maybe children, for other family matters came in the way. And it just sounds like you lot just grew up.
Yeah, we grew up, and again, like I say, we all grew differently. So as you become a man, you accept in your ways things that you would have compromised on before. You're not as willing to compromise on. So now I say that, like, now we are all who we are, basically, and man, and not necessarily so much changing for each other. So one thing that's never gonna go is the underlying love. That's there. That's, you understand, that's not gonna go.
Heart is in the music.
The heart's there, you understand. No matter we still don't see eye to eye. We come from Ibiza the other day, and we was non-stop, not necessarily arguing, but we never ended the conversation that we all agreed, you understand. But the love is there, you understand, and the vibe. Like I said, we've got a little chemistry that it's just will make us win, you understand. Regardless, even if man ain't on the right vibe that day, we put the music on.
Or do you understand, just give Fonty a little bit of space, give Mo a little bit of space, let me just go over there, let me leave him to chill in his room, I'll speak to him when we get on the stage.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, in a way it is a bit of that as well, and it's understanding each other and it's accepting and respecting each other. That's what it is, and at that time there, it was maybe a bit less than that. Again, what happened is, well, there was a big thing I missed out with the breakup of us, which was the name. You understand? With our name, and Mo done some funny stuff in regards to the name, you understand, which caused a really big rift. That's all those things led up to that point, and that point was when it completely broke down, basically. You understand? So that was to do with the Heartless Crew name and to do with Mo. You understand? So he done a kind of snide move. You understand? And it was like that broke up the whole relationship in the manner, because now. I never said nothing. I just kept it like easy. Man saying, do this, you should do this, you should do that to man where. I'm like, no, I wouldn't do anything like that. And this time I'm reforming anyway. You understand? So I ain't trying to go down the roads. Fonty's a very sensitive person. You understand? So Fonty, like you said, he made a video. It cut him up bad. And what it was, a whole big thing people don't understand as well. These men would not just Fonty Mo. In the man are looking at me as a leader. So Mo's stolen the name. And man are looking at me like, wow, you're not going to do nothing. You're going to let man steal your name.
Top boy in real life, yeah?
You understand? But no, it's just, it is what it is. Man are looking at me like, wow, B, how are you going to let man steal your name? Like, this is your name. Man wasn't even in it when you made the name up. And you're going to let man do that. But this time I'm going through a change in my own personal self. So I'm saying, wow, I'm not going down that road. Man saying, do this, do that. I'm saying, no, I'm not doing nothing. A man is thinking, oh, you're a pussy, oh. You understand? And not that Fonty's saying anything to me directly. Fonty was saying stuff to me as well, saying, wow, this, we can do what we're doing in where it's our name, this, and I'm not saying to Font, I ain't doing anything like that. My days of them things are done. So how this is going to pan out, it's going to pan out. So it caused a big rift in the manor in North London, you understand, in our area. Man are looking at me sideways, you understand? And Fonty's kind of angry. He's gone and done his F6. I'm saying to Fonty, don't wash your laundry in public, you know, cuz allow all that. Funny, but he's very sensitive. He's taking that to heart. He's like, "Wow, how are you gonna let man do this? Whatever." That's one thing. And then worse on top of all this, it's a shame Mo and Fonty, because this part is Mo of his own admission. Mo also went round to them people in the manor, all our friends, and kind of sided them off with him. You understand? Via manipulation. So he's telling him something different than what it really was. But because I'm not saying nothing, man, believing this to be the truth, really and truly. You understand? So then there was a time when we done Fab. Do you remember Fonty and Bushkin? You understand? And again, I made up the name. And I'm saying to Font, I can make up names all day long. Fonty and Bushkin, Fab, family and business. That was what the thing was behind it, you understand? Because when I started Heartless Crew, it was supposed to be a family business, you understand? So this new Fab, you understand? And it's so weird because it's only me, Fonty, and the two of our friends who stuck with us. Everyone else slid over there with Mo, and Mo was kind of manipulating the man's them, and it was a real.
Well, I'm glad that the team is back together.
No,
and I know that it's always going to be a growing process, you know what I'm saying? I'm just happy to see you guys back together. And why I'm even more happy to see you guys back together, and I suppose the purpose of these conversations that we do at Brukout Chat is to connect those dots from the early sound system lifting box days, original reggae style, to where we are now with Stormzy, like, headlining Glastonbury, and you look in the UK charts and you see like the wealth of these youths. Like, if people listen to the way that Bushkin has spoken today, just very raw as well, you can hear that this is what the music is of right now. Street music, and these are real stories. So how do you feel seeing where the music is now, seeing sound system culture all over the festivals, seeing the pull-ups, seeing the lyrics, seeing what we went through in those early 90s, seeing where it is now, that like sound effects is on a mixer now.
Yeah, exactly.
You got the ear horn there. Like, how do you feel about all this?
No, man, I love it. I love it. Every day I wake up and I'm in awe, man. I love it. I love life, and I love the music scene, and I love what the UK is doing right now. So to me, it's like amazing. It's like this is what man was almost dreaming for, and what man wanted. It's funny. I was talking to Skepta, and he was like, we done his video shoot, and he was proper bigging man up and saying, "Wow, how man inspired man," and all this kind of stuff. And it weren't for us, this and that. And I said to him, you know what it is, bro? As much as we inspired you, you ain't realizing how much you've inspired us. Cause we're still here now. You man are up there, you're doing the thing. And I said, for me now, I'm watching what you man are doing now, and I'm coming back again.
Do you know that I always say we're from the never ever old generation. I don't know what, I'm 45 years of age. I don't know what age is. You know, I'm like, really, truly.
That's it.
And I see what they're doing, and I still get excited to want to compete against them. And I don't think they realize that what they're doing is what we did.
Yeah, exactly.
The spitting that they do over and all the rest, all of that kind of stuff. So do you feel like you're playing keep up with them, or do you feel like, you know what, I could still inject a level of creativity into the culture, what's going on right now?
Definitely inject, and you understand, us man are innovators and creators, you understand. And Fonti used to say this one, like, when we stopped doing what we was doing, a lot of the scene got lost, you understand. And from what we was doing back then, no one really done anything.
Have you seen another sound system come through? Because that's what you are. You're not DJs.
Yeah.
You're a sound system cut from that cloth that comes from Jamaica, that original soundboy style. Have you seen, because I was at Glastonbury this year, I ain't going to tell no lie bullshit. I was so disappointed at the DJ talent. They got their headphones on, they're not looking at the crowd, they're down, they're turning for the MP3s and all the rest of it. Nobody's hosting on the mics. I'm like, where's the excitement of what you guys brought? Yeah,
again, like I said, a lot of people are like, follow fashion, and a lot of people are doing it for the different reasons and stuff like that. And I can't really speak for everyone else. I just know us man had a passion and had a calling. You understand? We always say we're on a mission. You understand? We're on a mission. We're still on a mission right now. So our thing is a bit different. You understand? We're doing it for different reasons. A lot of people, we want to entertain the people. We know without them it's nothing. But a lot of people are trying to go there when it's bravado thing or whatever. They're not thinking about the crowd. So
when you hang up your headphones, what would be the one goal? The mic, headphones, because you do everything. What would be the one goal that you would have wished to have achieved by the time you do that?
It's a good question. My thing's quite simple. I just want to spread love and happiness. Yeah, and when I hang up, that's all I need to know, that, yeah, man,
That's the Heartless Crew motto, isn't it?
That's it.
That's it. Do we have any questions before we close off the evening from anybody?
I was enjoying Heartless Crew, Chris Buskin onto the way here. What made you come up with the name for that album?
Again, I'll take that one here because I come up with the name Chris Biscuit. You know, it's funny, his mixes, basically. He's a mix in the music house. Again, he's a mix, all different genres. And I used to say, boy, that's crispy, but that's crispy. And then I don't know, I just come with Chris Biscuit, random kind of things. But it was just, he's mixing, you understand, and when he's mixing the two tunes. Again, he used to do some crazy things in the music house, like mixing 4 decks with no headphones. The shit he used to do in that music house, it's amazing, like it's like a myth, you understand, because stuff he's done in the rave, it does not compare to what he used to be doing in that house. And yeah, that's where that name was born, man, Chris Biscuit. Right, the mix of the crispy funny.
Does the music house still exist?
No, it's still there now, but we don't own it. We didn't. It one of them places where you couldn't buy it.
Oh,
You understand?
serious?
So we drive past it often, and it's still the same place.
Do you ever
basically.
feel like you want to go back in there?
A lot of time we say, boy, they were the best days. We should have tried to buy it. You understand? We didn't try hard enough and stuff like that. It was like a housing association, so you had to go through a whole rigmarole. But enough time that again after them days there, is where it started to kind of break down, so to speak. You understand?
Didn't
That
have
was
the hub.
Yeah, that was a hub, man. That was we didn't have that, and yeah, kind of from there went left.
Any more questions? Well, I just want to say thank you very much.
No man,
Bush,
respect, brother, man.
like,
Thanking you,
it's
man.
a rich history, and it's the kind of history that I like to tell because I was part of this kind of movement, you know what I'm saying? And lifting speaker boxes into flats
all
on
of
third
that.
floor when the lifts ain't working, and
Man.
the noise pollution coming and telling you got to lock off. Like
Yes.
everything that people enjoy now starts from that.
That
And
sound
people
system
can't
is
forget that. And that's what this is all about. Brukout and Chat. Heartless Crew.
Respect,
Bushkin.
brother, man.
Blessings.
Yes.